Hey, good Wednesday, gang. Good to see you. The tropics, unfortunately, are still pretty active. We have Erin to track and then two other tropical systems that are starting to get going over the central tropical Atlantic, and then one more thing beginning to manifest over Africa. Obviously, a lot to break down. We'll do a lightning round real quick, starting off with Erin. It's a low-end Category 2 hurricane right now, winds around 95-100 miles an hour in the core, but it is huge. Look at that cloud shield this morning, expanding all the way from like the Outer Banks in North Carolina all the way east past Bermuda. Realistically, that's 800 miles, but the entire cloud shield is 1,000 miles wide. If we look under the hood using microwave satellite imagery, we can see the inner eye wall has degraded and it's being replaced by a broader, weaker eye wall. We call that an eye wall replacement cycle. We've seen that time and time again, and that's part of the reason why the wind field is so broad. Each time the eye wall expands, the winds come down a little bit. It's like the ice skater. She is spinning and then she throws out her arms. She traces bigger circles, but her speed comes down a little bit. Same thing here with the hurricane. Here's Erin over the weekend when it was a Category 4, Category 5 storm. Its hurricane force winds only extended about 30 miles out from the center. It was a really compact, tightly wound storm. Now, the hurricane force winds go out up to 90 miles from the center, but we're only seeing Category 1 to borderline Category 2 winds. So lesser winds over a much bigger area, something like 9 times the aerial size of what the hurricane was over the weekend. Erin's size is why it's such an efficient producer of very large waves offshore. We're talking 50 to 90 feet over the Gulf Stream. And because it's so wide-reaching, that's why the Outer Banks will see tropical storm conditions overnight tonight and especially on Thursday morning, with winds gusting 40 to 50 plus miles per hour along the Outer Banks, and moreover some flood concerns. Storm surge flooding of 2 to 4 feet doesn't sound like much, but that's enough to overwash Highway 12 on Ocracoke and Hatteras Islands, and that's why there have already been some evacuation orders implemented. In eastern North Carolina, we have both a tropical storm warning and a storm surge warning in effect. Then Erin goes out to sea. It pushes well north and east of us, passes north of Bermuda and stays south of the Canadian Maritimes, really the best track possible to avoid land, and it transitions into a non-tropical cyclone. It has dry air punch in the backside. It starts to tap into jet stream energy, and you carve the storm into a comma-shaped low rather than a conventional symmetric hurricane. Now, we do have 3 other systems to watch in the Atlantic, in the main development region, or the MDR. We obviously have the easternmost tropical wave, which has a 60% chance of development. Then we have this middle one that is Invest 99L. It has the best structure at this point, and the fact that it's called Invest tells you it's a little farther along than the others. And then over Africa, we have one more thing that is starting to brew, but the models haven't really latched onto it quite yet. Now, our first wave is kind of ragged. It's spread out, its vorticity or spin is all stretched out, there are no real tight eddies of spin, and it's fending off some dry air. That's why we're not seeing much convection or shower and thunderstorm activity yet. Still, the models are a little bit aggressive with this one. The second system, Invest 99L, looks a lot better on satellite, has a plentiful amount of thunderstorm activity, but we're not sure if there's a cohesive low-level center, a completely closed swirl. But the good news, it's likely that 1 or 2 of these might form into something and develop into a tropical storm or depression, but ultimately the track will take them out to sea in a path very similar to Erin's. They'll recurve around the Bermuda High and they will get out of our hair. So there's nothing for us to worry about yet, but we are coming up on September, and that's always a time of year to stay vigilant.
Follow MyRadar on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Download MyRadar on iOS, Android, Amazon Alexa, and Windows.